expanse of the cosmos, the mind carves a pathway, an interstellar odyssey of rhythm and resonance. From the deepest trenches of our minds to the ethereal expanse of the cosmos, the mind.
So I thought I'd talk you through my latest track, where I'm at, where I've got with it. It's a techno track. I'm going to try and be dead quick. I don't know how long this will take, but I don't want to go through too much detail, but I kind of want to give you a good overview of where I'm at, how I've got there. It's certainly not like overly mixed, it's not even obviously near the mastering stage, it's not a finished piece of music, but it's essentially a progressive 32 bar intro. It's not an intro, it's evolving techno, which is what I like really, just like movement over time and change and stuff. And then on the 33rd bar, it's not a drop, because that doesn't kind of work really for this sort of music, I don't think, or well, it's not what I want for this track. Kind of want it to be there, be obvious, but not like some kind of like, here's the drop, man. So it's not that. And yeah, so I thought I'd try and whiz through that really, show you where I'm at with it if you're interested. So I'll play you a bit of each section that I'm going to talk through, and then we'll talk further about it. So here's part of the intro.
From the deepest trenches of our minds to the ethereal expanse of the cosmos, the mind carves a pathway, an interstellar odyssey of rhythm and resonance. From the deepest trenches of our minds to the ethereal expanse of the cosmos, the mind carves a pathway, an interstellar odyssey of rhythm and resonance. From the deepest trenches of our minds to the ethereal expanse of the cosmos, the mind carves a pathway, an interstellar odyssey of rhythm and resonance.
Just going from there, sort of 32 bars, but it builds and introduces things. And then this is kind of like my main sort of hooky bit about it. So it then turns into this. So yeah, in order to create that, I started with, I'm going to try and run fast through this, I'm hoping you'll get something out of it if you're a producer. You'll find it interesting if you're not, and you're into techno. Either way, let me know, that would be good. So I would have started with, or did start with, apologies if my voice keeps changing from mic-wise, but here we go. So generally a kick, and I choose the BPM, so I chose 130 BPM, I like 130 when it comes to techno. Not always the same, but I do like 130, it's nice and juicy. So open up this, I literally recorded, it was analog kicks from my RD9. It's sounds dead nice if you get it right. And within that, I just put on a little bit of reverb, a bit of compression, a bit of EQ. Changes a lot depending on how you want the sound. Rather than use my ghost kind of side chain kick, which I use for the rest of the stuff on here, on the kick I used a little bit of I turned it off. I was going to use this plugin, ignore what I've just said, and then transient master to tighten and punch it, and the filter, it's all kind of automated. So let's just bring up one that's there we go. So like if I open this up, you might see it better there. So hopefully you can see this. I don't know, what's that? It's like something's in the way. Is it a shadow? Oh no, it's the camera. So quickly, automation is so for example, I'll put a filter on this kick, and automation just allows you to change the parameters over time. So within the sequence, it will change over time. So if I solo this, it ignores some of this, it all needs tidying up. But what happens is over time, like the filter will open up and it sort of brings in. I use automation loads on kind of everything I do. I think it's really important. It just gives a bit of a bit of interest, really, a bit of a slow change without you realising it, rather than really obvious changes. So it will go from that, and then it would literally at 33rd bar. Fair old amount of pre-delay on it, but then really sort of tightened up so it works with the genre and with the BPM, so like bunk, bunk, bunk. So there's the kick. Okay, right, so after that I went in some kind of what I say, some kind of like story to the track. So like some kind of, not inspiration, but not a brief, I suppose a little bit of a brief, but basically I wanted it to sound, or to be reminiscent of kind of Viking sounds. And what I've used in order to create that in terms of vocally may have nothing to do culturally with Vikings. It could be from no countries whatsoever involved in Viking, but it to me it sounds kind of Viking, which is what I was after. It would be called Valhalla, I would have thought, just to make it extra kind of Viking. But yeah, I'm not suggesting. I don't know the origin from the vocals. It's just the sound and the flavour and the feeling, which is really nice because I don't know the language of what I'm using either, nor do I know kind of any Nordic language, but it's just kind of works nicely to what I think represents what I'm after. So anyway, so from that I thought I would choose, so got the kick, and I thought because I'm going to do something kind of based on what would it be, I suppose 800, so 1300 years ago, whatever. I thought I'd try and do something that's based around kind of the idea that we understand a lot more, so about like the atmosphere and a bit more sort of sciencey, the sort of basically the opposite of Viking, really. So I went
from the deepest trenches of our minds to the ethereal expanse of the cosmos. The mind carves a pathway, an interstellar odyssey of rhythm and resonance. From the deepest trenches of our minds.
But I thought it was kind of like I will start rattling on about this because I've gone a bit too deep, too quick, and I'm gonna do a much quicker video.
From the deepest trenches of our minds.
So my thinking is the deepest trenches of our minds, and talking about the cosmos, is obviously much further ahead in terms of evolutionary knowledge, human knowledge. So I thought I'd put something like that in with like a Viking sound. And I'll go back to the Viking sound again. So I've kind of gone with. And again, like, could literally be something completely different, but you know, subjective to a degree in terms of how I want to create this piece of music. Anyway, so after that, so kick, noise, kick, vocal. Let's bring in, let's have a look.
From the deepest trenches of our minds to the ethereal expanse of the cosmos, the mind carves a pathway, an interstellar odyssey of rhythm and resonance. From the deepest trenches of our minds to the ethereal expanse of the cosmos, the mind carves a pathway, an
Okay, yeah. So I would say probably this. So again, automation plays a big part in what I do. So I won't bring it in. I'll just play it without the automation. So kind of vocals. You can hear it better a bit later on. And the way I've done that is I've just got a vocal sample, a legal one, not illegal, a legal one. Put it in my Digitact and chopped it up, messed around with it, kind of added, there's all sorts of stuff. It's like changing the bit rate. Won't go into it too much, but it's rhythmical chopping. But as a texture, so like, so if I play it again. So it's just like a textural thing in the background, but it's quite kind of cold, a bit metallic. So that's going on in the background, and then as we're coming in, oh yeah, I've done like a ghost kick and side chained pretty much everything to it, but individually. So I've used it like how sidechain kind of was used, should be used as a mixing tool. It works really well, but also as an effect. So there's like bits of kind of pumping sound going on, and I will have used that on everything, but individually. So it's all got its own kind of sidechain settings to that one kick. Which, if I bring in, here we go. So this will be from my Euro rack case, which I think is there. I'll tell you what, I'll be able to turn it and show you. So, who's that now? So if I play, yeah. So you get the gist of it. So let's bring that back around to it. So with the Euro rack side of things, I created a couple of different sounds and rhythms. Again, it's kind of textural stuff rather than main sounds, which here's one. Here's the other. Again, a lot of automation within it, so you can kind of like bring it in slowly and take it out quietly and stuff. So that, I think that's kind of the bare bones of the sound. So Euro rack, Digitact, analog drum machine, some samples that are paid for. They've gone into the Digitac and been chopped up and mucked about with. Others I've just brought directly into Ableton, and so in terms of the vocals, perhaps I'll just go through the vocals quickly. So the vocals I've just literally put on I've done some really like subtle side chaining with it, just so its kick comes through nicely, but you don't hear it sort of going in. You know, you don't hear the vocals going in and out constantly. A nice compressor. I've used Neutron 2. I know it's like well ahead, but I haven't upgraded from that yet. But it's a lovely compressor, so I've used that. Just kind of basically like bring up and squash down, like level everything out. Compression and EQ is really, really, really good to get your head around. And then this little treat actually, I'm a massive fan of this. It's CLA vocals. It's the Chris Lord thing. But it's a delicious bit of software actually, really nice plugin. So with those, I'll solo the vocals kind of without it. So if I turn off you, so this is the dry vocals, which are nice, you know, the nice vocals. And obviously I don't normally do vocals with noises in the background because it becomes impossible to kind of edit the vocal because you've got all this stuff going on in the background. But this is quite nice. It works quite well, I think. One of the only times I've ever done it. But anyway, with so without it, with it, so that's with a bit of side chain, with some compression on top of that, and with this CLA plugin, it's delicious really. So anyway. I think that sounds well nice. So that, and I've shoved in some shakers. Some hats. Again, all roughly mixed. Use the WoW 2 on the hats actually, which I'll open it up. This is a brilliant plugin. So I use a lot of mixture of kind of hardware, analog hardware, MIDI hardware, analog digital hardware, and then software. I like all of it, love it. And Euro rack, got quite a sort of basic Euro rack thing set up, but that's brilliant for techno because it just creates all these crazy, wonderful rhythms. So yeah, okay, I'll hit play, and I would love to know what you think so far. Just spent a few days on it. Like I say, it's not a finished composition, it's not fully produced in the slightest. I've done very rough and ready mixing. There's zero, obviously there's zero mastering, I don't know why I say that, but it's not mixed, is it? So it's not even finished. And I've got sort of a build and a main hook. I'm going to carry on with it. It'd be great to know what you think to it. you know, good or bad, whatever, positive, negative, constructive criticism, feedback, it's always good, it's always a bonus. So yeah, I'll just hit play now and that's it. Oh, I'll take it off solo and I'll hit save just in case.
From the deepest trenches of our minds to the ethereal expanse of the cosmos, the mind carves a pathway, an interstellar odyssey of rhythm and resonance. From the deepest trenches of our minds to the ethereal expanse of the cosmos, the mind carves a pathway, an interstellar odyssey of rhythm and resonance. From the deepest trenches of our minds to the ethereal expanse of the cosmos, the mind carves a pathway, an interstellar odyssey of rhythm and resonance.
So, as you can tell, it's literally at the minute just like first 32 bar bring in, kind of hook, going out the hook, and that's as far as I've got really. So, all that extra bit I thought I'd just press play, you know. It's where it's at, it's nice to kind of hear it and then start to fill it out as you go along. I think the only thing I would say on top of that and hearing it back, in terms of an explanation, is the vocals I went for kind of, rather than, because obviously it's kind of like techno in general, obviously it's 4 to the floor, does not have to be. This is, you know, it's 4 to the floor, 4/4, beat, 130 BPM, pretty structured and standard. I thought vocally, rather than just keep bringing it in on, say, like each doing like a 4-bar lead, I quite enjoyed bringing in one of the stronger bits of vocals on, say, well, I'll play it and you'll hear it. instead of coming straight back in on there, I left it for a bar, so it kind of gave that bit of movement, so you'll notice it, I think. Press play now. So yeah, so I thought that made it a little bit more interesting, really. Which is nice, isn't it? You need like movement and interest. This is still, I wouldn't say like sterile, but it's still kind of quite structured to the grid. So I need to kind of start to move things in and out. But it's just the beginnings of a track, and I've always, if I've done a video, I've said this is the finished piece, this is how I've done it, or this is what I'm doing, or it's a live jam or whatever. I've never done this is as far as I've got, because I suppose you always think, oh, it's not polished, it's not brilliant, it's not a done piece, but why not, I guess. So anyway, yeah, hope you got something out of that, hope you enjoyed it, hope you found it interesting. If you didn't, apologies. Let me know what you think, do the like, do the subscribe, comment. I will do my very best to get back to you. I'm pretty good nowadays actually at replying. Awful at texts and WhatsApp. So I don't know why I'm rattling on about that, so we'll skip that. I'll go back to what I was saying. Yeah, sound. All good.